Hello everyone. Today let's solve the problem number 128, longest consecutive sequence. Right. So what the question states here, we have been given an unsorted array. So this is the unsorted array nums. Right. So we have been given an unsorted array. We have to find the length of longest sequence of consecutive integers. So just keep this in mind. We have to find the length of the longest sequence of consecutive integers regardless of the order. So we have been given an unsorted array, not the sorted array, right? So we have to find the length of the longest sequence of consecutive integers regardless of the order. So the solution must be in run in big of n time. The solution must run in big of n time. For example, so here we have considered this one itself. So let's consider this one itself. So see here. So the longest sequence here is 1, 2, 3, 4. We have been given this one in the unsorted array. If it would have, if they would have given an sorted array, we would have got that one in the single step itself, right? So we are given in this one array of elements in the unsorted array. Basically here 1, 2, 3, 4. So they have 4, sorry, not this 100. So we have to found the consecutive element, longest consecutive elements, right? So here this 100 and 200 is not the consecutive element basically, right? For the 100 to be consecutive, 101 has to be present, and for the 200 we should have 201, right? So here in this case it starts from 1 basically and it ends at 4, right? 1, 2, 3, and 4 we have within this array. So the longest consecutive element sequences here in this case 1, 2, 3, 4. So therefore its length is 4. We have to return its length, not the array, not the consecutive element sequence, right? We have to return its length. Basically it is 4. Length means we'll go with 1, 2, 3, 4 for this particular example, right? So let's come to the second example here. So what we'll do, we'll start with 0. We have one more 0. Let's ignore this one. 0, 1 we have, 2 we have, 3 we have, 4 we have, and 5 also we have, 6 we have, 7 we have, and 8, right? 0 to 8 we have, you can just count. 0 to 8 is nothing but the 9 longest consecutive element sequences, 9 in this case, right? So here we have 0, 1 is present twice, we can just consider this one once, and 2. So this will be 3. 0 to 2, this will be, the length will be quite obviously 3. So that is how we got the output here. I hope this part is completely clear. I hope the question part is completely clear. So let's discuss the approach first, and then the complexities for the code that we'll be writing, and then let's write the code, right? So here, what we will do first, so first thing that we need to remember here is we will be making use of the hash set. So we will be going with the hash set approach. Just remember this one. So we will add all the elements to the hash set. Why? Because for the big of one lookup. So for the individual elements, we need big of one lookup. So we'll be adding the elements to the hash set, and then we can just loop through each number. And finally, we can track and update the maximum length that is found. So let's consider the first example so that you'll understand this one clearly. So here we have 104, 200, 132. So what will be the approach basically? So here first 100 is present, right? 100 is present here. So first what we will do, we will check whether 99 is present in the hash set or not, previous number. So for every number we'll check in this way itself. 99 is not present, so this is the first number, it has to be the first number. So this is the first number that is present, so we can start from 100 and we will check whether 101 is present in the hash set or not. So see here, in this case 101 is present. So here 101 is not present, so this length is 1. So now let's go with the next number. We have 4, so let's consider 4 here, but 4 is having the previous number in the set. So see here in the array we have 3. So we are having the 3, so 99 we are not having, so we consider 100 and then we check for the next number. We are having the previous number 3 here in this case, so this fails, right? So this fails, we will ignore and move to the next number. Let's move to the 200 part here. 200, we will check for the previous number in the set, nothing but the 199. Here 199 is not present in the hash set, so we'll check for the next number, 201, and 201 is not present in the array. You can clearly see here in this array 201 is not present, so this is also of length 1. So we will store this one. This is having length 1 and this is having length 1 as well. So next what we will do, we have the number 1. So 1, what we'll do, we will check for the previous number. 0 is present, 0 is not present in the array. So we will check whether 2 is present or not. Yes, 2 is present in the this one, what do you call, hash set, or the array here, right? So next, as 2 is present, we will check whether 3 is present. Next number 3 is present in the array. Yes, 3 is also present, you can clearly see here, right? 3 is present. So the longest consecutive till now was, the longest consecutive elements is 1 2 3. Next what we will do, we will check for 4, as we have 3. So 4 is also present here, you can clearly see here. So what we will do, we will include 4 as well. Next, from 4, we will check 5. 5 is not present in the array, right? 5 is not present in the array as array at all. So this is the longest consecutive till now. So this one is of the length 4. We will store this one in the hash set. We have 1, 1 and 4, right? 1, 1 and 4. Next, same thing we'll do with 3 and 2. So for 3 previous element, 2 is present, and for 2 previous element, 1 is present in the array. So we will ignore these two things here, right? So the longest consecutive elements sequence that is found here is 4. So here you can clearly see here 4, and we will return this one as output. So we will return this one as output. I hope this is completely clear. This is how we will be making use of the hash set. So this is the approach. So basically this is the walkthrough and the approach. I hope the approach part is completely clear. Now, as we are completely familiar with the approach, let's discuss the complexities part. Right. So what will be the time complexity here? As we are making use of the hash set, the time complexity would be big of n. Why? Here each number is processed at most once using the hash set. We will be processing each number at most once using the hash set. You will come to know when we write the code. Right. So we will articulate the same thing in the form of code, whatever we discussed in the approach, right? So we will articulate the same thing in the form of code in the approach. So here big of n, why the time complexity is big of n here? Because each number is processed at most once using the hash set. So what will be the space complexity? The space complexity would be big of n here. So why the space complexity here is big of n? Because we, in the worst case, we may store all the elements in the hash set. Right? In the worst case, we might store all the elements in the hash set. So the time and space complexity for the code that we'll be writing is big of n. And yeah, big of n for both the time complexity and the space complexity is big of n, right? So let me delete this one. Now as we are completely familiar with the approach along with the complexities, let's start writing the code. So initial step here is, as I've said, we'll be making use of the hash set, right? So we have to put all the numbers into the hash set. Why? For the big O of one access, right? Let's create the hash set here. So this will be integer comma, so only, yeah, integer is fine. So let's make use of the variable name set here. This will be new hash set. So this is fine. I hope this is clear. So the next step here is step one. So this will be the first step. So what so this itself is the first step, right? We have to put all the numbers into the hash set. So all the numbers, when I say all the numbers, we have to make use of the for loop here. So let me write this one here itself. Let me do one thing. Let's make use of the for loop here. Let's make use of the individual number of the nums array. So we have to add all the numbers, right? So I'll just go with set dot add of num. We'll be making use of the add property as we need to put all the numbers into the hash set, right? So this is it for the first step. So the next step here is we need to keep track of the longest subsequence, right? For that one, this acts as a counter, right? I'll just go with a variable name longest and let me initialize this one to 0. Next part is we have to traverse each number, right? So we have to traverse through the each we have to traverse each number, right? So let me make use of the for loop again here. This will be int num of nums. So within this for loop, we have to try only to build the sequences from start of the sequence. If the previous element is present, then it is not considered as starting of the starting number. So this one we have discussed during the approach, if you would have paid the attention, right? So here we will try only to build sequences from start of the sequence. For that, let's write the simple if condition here. if not of set dot contains of this one is num minus 1, then within this if condition, so let's make use of the current num, and let me assign this one to the num. In the next step, let me make use of the variable count and let me assign this one to the 1. This is fine. This is it for the second step. So the main step or the third step here, we have to expand the sequence, right? If the next number is present, if we have found the starting number, suppose here in this case, in this example, we have found the first as starting number. Forget about these things, because we need the next number as well, right? So here we have found this one as the starting number, and if for the one, if 2 is present, then we have to expand the sequence, and then we have to update the longest sequence length. These two steps we need to do yet, right? So first thing, let's expand the sequence. Means we have to articulate the same thing in the form of code. For expanding the sequence, I'll just make use of the while loop here. I'll just go with set dot contains of this one will be current num plus 1 while loop. Within the while loop, what we'll do, let's increment the current num. So this will be current num. This is fine. And then let's increment the count as well. So here this will be count plus plus. This is fine. Let me come out of this while loop entirely. So the final step here is of after expanding the sequence, checking for all the numbers, by checking all the numbers, then we have to update the longest sequence length that is found. If you remember, we got 1, 1 and 4, and finally we updated the longest sequence length, nothing but the 4, and then we have to return that longest sequence length, right? Now let's update the longest sequence length first. So this will be longest equals math dot max of, so this will be longest itself, comma count. Finally, so this is not lion guest, so this is longest. So let me come out of this one entirely. So yeah, here, and the final step is we have to return the final answer, right? Nothing but the longest common sequence. So this has to be G. So this is fine. Let me give the semicolon here. Let me format this one once. Oh, what happened here? So yeah, let me format this one once and let me hit the run button. So here class interface enum or record expected, line number 24. What's the problem here? So let's check what we have done wrong here. So yeah, in the line number 2, this has to be capital H. So we are creating the hash set, this one has to be capital H, right? So this is fine. So in the line number 9 here, uh, it has to be int nums from the set. Actually we have initialized set here, right? So we are creating the hash set with a variable name set. So this is from, we are considering the individual numbers from the set, right? So this has to be set, not the nums array. So this is fine. So let me run this one. Let me format this one once and let me hit the run button. I hope this works now. Let's see. Still we have the this one. What's wrong here? So I have done one mistake here. So I have deleted this one class solution, I think. So this has to be within the class, right? So by mistake, did I delete the solution? This one. So let me write it here. Class solution. So this has to be within the class, right? So let me format the document once. When did I delete this one basically? Yeah, this is fine. Let me hit the run button. Yeah, that was the error basically. So this is fine. Uh, all the sample test cases are getting passed. So let me hit the submit button. Let's see whether this works for all the test cases or not. So here you can clearly see all the test cases are getting passed. Means the code works absolutely correct in this case, right? So I hope the solution part is completely clear along with the complexities and approach, right? For now, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys.